Joshua. We are here. We are back. And this time with another long-ass video.
Yep. Grab your popcorns for this one. For those of y'all who know us personally, we started One Piece about, two and a half months ago?
3 months ago. Beginning of August. First week in August. And I will be done. I am 20 episodes away from catching up completely.
Yeah, I'm about 100. I'm at about 930 right now.
I don't know if that's some kind of record or something, but fucking 3 months grinding out the One Piece. We're caught up.
We fucking did that.
So this is going to be a review of pre-time skip One Piece. And so that's saying something. This is going to be a long ass video for just pre-time skip. Pre-time skip is the first 516 episodes of One Piece.
Yep.
Okay. That's a lot of One Piece.
A lot of One Piece.
But, so we're just going to go through each arc and kind of rate them out of 10, talk about the things that happened, and the way that we feel. So if you haven't watched it, spoilers. If you have watched it and you agree, disagree, whatever, that's fine.
Let us know in the comments.
Everybody has their own opinions. Our lists are all opinion-based. Some people forget that. Get a little angry. Whatever. Do you.
With that being said, let's hop right in. I'm super curious.
First arc, we got the East Blue arc. So in this arc, we recruit all of our, the first couple people on our adventure here. So the first thing we did is called the Romance Dawn arc. It's kind of short, but that's where we recruit Zoro, the first mate. We meet Kobe.
Yep.
They take out the little first little Marine commander.
Right.
Kobe got a big upgrade.
Kobe got a big upgrade.
Overall, that first little part, I really liked the recruitment of Zoro. Not gonna lie, I enjoyed Zoro being first mate.
I did love Zoro. Zoro's fantastic.
Introducing these guys was pretty interesting, so I actually kind of enjoyed that part of this arc. The next part of this was Orange Town, where we met Buggy and Nami. That stuff was kind of funny, but that was alright.
Yeah, it was not the best. I didn't really too much enjoy our long part arc for real.
I'm not even there yet. Syrup Village, where we met Usopp. That shit was not very good, to be honest. That shit was kind of unnecessary.
Yeah.
We met the whole villain of that dude. He fucking never came back. He's the only person from One Piece that basically had no meaning in anything whatsoever.
We just
never came back.
Usopp.
Okay, Mr. Edward Scissorhands, don't know what you're doing here, but alright. Next was the Baratier, where we met Sanji.
That one was kind of nice.
I appreciate Sanji's recruitment was pretty good. I didn't mind that one too much.
That one was not too bad.
That one was good. Then it was Arlong Park. I really actually enjoyed Arlong Park. Arlong Park was good. It had parts where it kind of dragged out, but honestly,
that one hella dragged for me, especially
the part
just beating people. That one was a whole goddamn arc.
The part where Luffy put his hat on Nami will always be a turning point in that anime for me. That was one of the first things that got me really invested.
Yeah, that was a moment, but the rest of that arc was just.
There were a couple moments. And then after that was Log Town, Luffy almost getting executed, getting saved by the lightning strike.
That one
meeting
was nice.
Smoker.
That shit was, this nigga got Archer level luck, and they like
super luck. Yeah, that was showing his super
told
luck.
You off back. This nigga was like, well, I guess I'm dead, and then lightning strike. So
overall, the East Blue arc in general, I gave it a 6.8 out of 10.
I gave it a 4. I'm extra mean because in the first couple episodes, I was just contemplating quitting this shit and letting this motherfucker watch it alone. Because in most anime, you just meet the people in this one episode. They might do 1 or 2 or 3 if they show backstory. You get 3-4 episodes with this person. They made meeting every single person in mini arc. And for Arlong Park, it was a full goddamn arc. I appreciate that. It was cool, and like you said, it ended up being great world building aspect. Post time skip, the fact that they're expanding on a lot of these people's story has been fantastic. But going back to pre time skip watching this, I was furious.
There were a couple points that I felt were good about this arc. Again, meeting Zoro, I thought was great. Mihawk cutting down Zoro, I thought was awesome.
What a goddamn
unit with the butter knife fucking unit.
It was crazy.
And then I actually really enjoyed Arlong Park for the most part. Again, there was a lot of good stuff there. Again, this was mostly just the beginning of the world building, but I do understand something that we have a big complaint about is the pacing of this show.
You will hear that in every one.
I'm gonna be completely. I would rather they give us filler as opposed to making me watch 1,000 episodes of just dragging out the story.
Yep. So that is a huge problem. I don't know if that's a thing in the One Piece community that people really complain about, but I have that problem and he has.
Like personally, I feel like I probably would have enjoyed it more if I read the manga, just because I feel like the pacing is just not
tragic
in the anime. Moving on though, next arc is Alabasta. We started off with the Grand Line meeting, what is it, Baboon or whatever, Baboon, the whale,
giant whale, with
and the doctor that was formerly from Roger's ship.
A lot of this about it, like when I first got to meet these people, I'm like, this shit's wonky as hell. Who thought of this bullshit?
But the way these things tie in later is just
just fantastic.
Next was Whiskey Peak. We started to meet the all the Crocodile'S people. That's where we first met Princess Vivi.
Crocodile was good.
We're almost there. After Whiskey Peak, we had Little Garden where we met our 2 giant captains fighting to the death every day.
That was my turning point. When I met those giants and they have been arguing over a catch from 100 years ago and they've been fighting. They get up every day to do the same
Every
fight.
time the volcano pops off, it's time to scrap.
It's time to go.
I don't care if we just scrapped 2 minutes ago. If it goes off, we scrap it again.
Scrap it.
Zoro was cutting off his legs because they were in wax. That shit was hilarious
That shit was awesome. But that was where the show really got me hooked. I'm like, oh yeah, no, world building has paid off because I'm about to meet a whole bunch more niggas like this. This about to be fantastic.
Next up, we had Drum Island. That's where we met Chopper. Got his backstory.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff. That was kind of sad. I like Chopper though.
Sad. I love me some Chopper. He's a little gullible, but I love me.
I think that was a nice little mini arc. I really enjoyed that because I enjoyed the Luffy climbing up the fucking hill with bleeding fingers and all kind. That was a pretty good moment.
That was a nice little moment. I love that Chopper cannot take compliments for the absolute life of him.
Stop! That doesn't make me happy
Shut
or
up,
anything.
you idiot.
Like, all right, come on, Chopper. And then Arabasta, which was Arabasta, however you pronounce that. We're
fantastic.
With, that's all the stuff with Crocodile. My biggest problem with this part was this was the biggest plot armor part of the entire show, in my opinion. There is no reason that Luffy should have beat Crocodile, because this man should have been dead after the first 2 encounters. But getting past that, I think overall Crocodile's a great villain and a great character, to be honest. Yeah. I love me some Crocodile, but and overall, I thought the arc was pretty good. I love
that Crocodile was a warlord, and this is back in the beginning of the show because Luffy
warlords were a top tier.
Top tier because it was funny because we 200 episodes in, we haven't seen Luffy really challenge that. One of my biggest gripes at the start of this show was he haven't trained, he haven't got stronger, he just been running
through everybody,
fucking people up,
running through everybody.
So it's cool to a point, but I need to see you take an L, and he low-key took that 2 of them bitches. But he screamed out to Crocodile. He's like, "Oh, you're a warlord? There's 70 well, I guess I'm the 8th warlord." And they never gave him that title, and that shit hurt my soul. But he's
but also not really true, but still.
It's in the page.
He'd be making up his own goddamn titles for whatever the fuck reason. But overall, and I really love the part too when Vivi was trying to save everybody's life and Luffy was like, "It doesn't work that way." Bro, when he hit that bitch back, I'm like, bro, I love that about MCs. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd love me some Sanji. I'd be just like him. I'd be sipping over all these One Piece bitches. They're all fine. But still, the one thing I love in an MC is he's like, bro, I don't give a fuck if you're a man, woman, child, old person. I don't give a fuck. If you piss me off, I'm socking you in your shit.
These hands are rated E for every goddamn
E for everybody. Like, he don't give a fuck. He'll piece you up. overall, I gave Alabasta a 7.5.
I gave it about a 7.5. 6.
You gave it a 6.5.
6.5, but talking about it, I give it a 7.5.
On the fly, 7.5.
On the fly, 7.5. Because we got.
There's a lot of stuff about Alabasta. That's fair. Change it on the fly. So overall, 7.5. Next up, we got Sky Island. You guys are about to be mad at me for this one. Let me tell you what. A lot of people are like, it's not that bad. It was fucking bad to me.
It was not.
Anyway.
It was not that bad.
Yeah, he's with you guys, not me. Anyway, so we started off with Jaya. We met Bellamy.
Mm-hmm.
We met Blackbeard. And
Bellamy's still a second shit.
We met the old man. You know, all that stuff. That was all the setup. And then it was just Skypiea. You know, leading straight up. They took the knockup stream.
That shit was fantastic.
Met the old god and the new lightning god. Of course, we already knew they kept Luffy away from him for as long as possible, just because he was going to be his fucking hard counter.
And this is where they started a trend.
Well, this is where they started planting seeds as well. So I'll give you guys this looking back, because these enemies that they were fighting in Skypiea, they were just using hockey.
Literally.
We just didn't know what it was at the time. So like, looking back, that was. They had some great planning of the seeds and plot setup, but this shit was unnecessarily fucking long. This shit was, it was bad. This shit dragged so bad. This was honestly, like, the first time in the entire series where I genuinely thought about stopping watching the show. I got so fucking bored.
4 of them moments already. Once I settled, this is another reason that we got.
I actually enjoyed the beginning for the most part, but once we got here, I was like, what, like?
Because once we got to my turning point, I'm like, all right, I'm settled into the. I got settled into the pacing of the show, I think, a little bit better than you. Because I was furious about it first. And I'm like, I guess I'm fucking here now. So it kind of...
Well, no matter what, I knew I was going to watch it. So at the beginning, I was like, whatever. Pacing is going to be pacing.
I didn't know if I could get through it at the beginning.
So, but we got the Sky...
surprised.
We got the Skypiea. And again, this shit was fucking... Let's see. Sky Island was 71 episodes. And the only two places where they were Jaya and Skypiea. And... Skypiea was just...
That shit was fantastic.
That shit just took way too long, in my opinion. Again, they planted a lot of seeds that played out later that I enjoyed. As a setup arc, it was fine.
Lightning Guy Enru ran away from Luffy. That is what I meant to say earlier. I almost forgot. They started... Niggas, every big bad at some point doesn't want to deal with Luffy and just runs away and lets their subordinates try to fight this nigga. And it never works. And I love it. And it's like, oh, Lightning don't work on you? I can't beat your ass for real?
He just tied that golden ball to his fucking hand and dropped him off the side of the ship. Get out of here.
I don't know how he didn't keep that, bro. He dumb as hell. I'd have found a way to keep that and cash in all that money. But
anyway, overall, Sky Island, 5 out of 10.
I gave that shit a good 7. 7 out of 10. I appreciate this guy.
5. Anyway, moving on. Water 7, one of my favorite arcs of all time. Honestly, loved Water 7. Started off with the Long Island, where they had the little competition over who would lose crewmates. We already knew Luffy wasn't going to lose, so come on.
Right.
But then we also met Aokiji right after that, which was awesome. Because I did the math.
Love that, man.
And Aokiji froze from Michigan to Kentucky.
Level shit.
All the way, like, to the deep sea in like that, to where you could walk across it. So that was the first,
That's
pretty big feat.
Yeah.
You multiple state level, at least, with, instantly. So that was pretty big. Moving right into Water 7, though, that's where we meet Frankie. Love me some Frankie.
Fantastic.
Fucking super. Love me some Frankie.
Is fantastic. I love me some Frankie.
All that was great.
The shipwright.
All the shipwrights were good. Yeah.
Roger and shit.
Meeting Tom was cool. All of his backstory was great.
That shit's awesome.
And that them leads right into Usopp and Luffy's fight, which was one of my favorite points in the whole series. That Water 7 was, honestly, I'm probably gonna rate it higher than what we have it here. We already have it as an 8.5, but I'm probably gonna make it a little bit higher than that. But anyway, Usopp and Luffy had a fucking great fight. That was one of my moments.
This is why I have it down where I have it, because I felt like Usopp was being a little bit of a pouty bitch about his shit.
Well,
and I give it to him like that. The Going Merry literally manifested its soul to fix itself and then go save them niggas for a few more trips. But you knew the ship was gonna be gone, my guys. Shit. Y'all, you have the most ignorant captain in all of the 7 seas. So you knew this was gonna happen.
Regardless of the fact of like why they fought, Usopp grew some balls, A. B, he showed that he can hold his own even against fighting someone as strong as Luffy.
That shit was a half,
which was impressive.
That was hella
and impressive. Then the emotions were just high throughout the whole Usopp leaving and coming back. Like him leaving, Zoro's speech about, if
come back loud.
No, before that even, the one right after he loses where he's like, you're our captain. We look to you to lead us. If you falter in this decision, then who are we supposed to look to? Like shit like that, and then before he comes back, when he tries to come back, he's like, "Look, if you let him come back without apologizing, then I'm leaving."
Period.
Like he has to respect you, we have to respect you. You're our captain. We signed up for this. Like the emotions were just so high between those two.
I will give him that. Nice.
But that leads us straight into fucking Annie's lobby, which is, and oh my god, Annie's lobby. There's just so many great things. First of all, the hilarity between Sanji and Zoro, calling him Pirate A, Pirate B, background character, all that shit was fabulous.
And then I got a whole name and face on my poster. Who are you? Pirate A?
The fact that half of them didn't recognize that Usopp was Sniper King was fucking fantastic.
Oh my god. I think to this day, fucking Chopper don't know that Usopp is Sniper King.
When Zoro used Usopp as a sword, that shit was hilarious.
That shit was fantastic. I thought this man was gonna die just a wee bit.
But no, to get it out of the way before you guys start screaming at us, the biggest part's obviously Usopp burning down the world government flag and the I want to live. And now listen, there's a lot of people that I hear saying that like sub is way more emotional than dub, but mark my words, go back and watch that specific I want to live scene in dub, you will cry again. Notice I said again. We've all been there. We're not going to talk about it. And then after Eddie's lobby, end of Eddie's lobby, the Going Merry comes to save them. That was a great touch.
That was fantastic.
The only real downside, I feel like, again, the thing that I dislike the most about the pacing of the show is how they always make Luffy's fights in the background and you only get like 30 seconds of it each episode. That drives me crazy. Like if I get into a fight, I want to just get into the fight. But that goes right into post Eddie's lobby. Ace versus Blackbeard. Ace gets clapped, gets captured.
Don't simplify it. Fuck that. Blackbeard is a plotting ass nigga. He plotted so hard on this.
Still plotting. Still plotting to this day.
This man is
hard
plotting till this day. Hard plotting. I don't know what the fuck he up to, but he is plotting the shit.
Overall though, Water 7, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
I'm sticking with the 8.5. That shit was great, fantastic, but it dragged on a little too much. So
next episode, next arc, Thriller Bark.
If we did this episode by episode, we'll be here for so long.
Thriller Bark. We meet good old Brooke. Love Brooke. Love that song, by the way.
Yo ho ho.
Yo ho ho. Anyway, love it. The big plot here was Gecko Moria.
Yep, I actually love Thriller Bark a lot more than he did, because as you have to understand, we be high as hell watching this show. So I get high, I watch this shit, I put this shit on. Every time I put Thriller Bark on, I got Scooby-Doo vibes. And I love me some Scooby-Doo, bro. They even had a Scooby-Doo running around scene at one point where they ran.
In the doors and
guy ran this way, and they met, and then ran the opposite way,
that.
And then all this other ignorance. So I'm like, oh my god, this is just fantastic.
One of my favorite parts about that was my favorite part about that arc was when they first got on the island, and then Luffy was trying to find the rest of the crew. and they came across a Cerebus dog that everybody else was scared of, and it barked at him, and he barked back at that shit, and he fucking the Cerebus just took off running. He's like, I'm not fucking with that.
That shit was fantastic.
Luffy he'd either be trying to eat things, or he'd just be antagonizing the fuck out of them. It's just hilarious. But and then I also like when Sanji.
Animal cruelty, goddammit.
I also like when Sanji got pissed at the dude who could be invisible because he always wanted.
Because he wanted that power, and
yeah.
He's like, you saw this? You know what I do? Da-da-da. But he's like, oh yeah. What do you mean? What would you do? You don't think I've been in bathhouses before? I look at all the chicks.
Yeah. Main plot points though, we got Brook, Moria stealing souls, the big Oars issue, and then we had.
Oars was nice. Oars was nice.
Oars, yep.
That
Oars.
was nice.
And then right after that we had Kuma popping up and Zoro taking pain from Kuma. One of the best moments in the series.
That is some of the most insane shit
Bro,
I've ever seen.
The way he just said,
life.
What happened here? Nothing at all.
Not a goddamn thing.
So that was a great moment. But that was honestly my favorite. The Kuma coming in and him taking that pain for Luffy was honestly what saved the arc for me. Because this shit would have got it rated probably lower than what he rated the first arc. But I got it at a 5 right now. 5 out of 10.
I'm sick. I got this shit at a solid 8. So, yeah, we differ verily on that one. I will give it to him why he rated a little bit lower because the plot itself was kind of trash in this arc, but I could not get over just the Scooby-Doo-esque vibes.
Nostalgia.
Every time somebody saw Brook, they all just got to tripping, and he's like,
Alright.
Fantastic.
Longest arc is there's a lot of mini arcs in this one. The Summit War arc. Starting off with the Sabaody Archipelago, meeting Rayleigh,
who is
a unit.
All of you niggas.
Unit.
Didn't believe it when he told me that shit, but I'm like, alright.
Luffy socking the shit out of the Celestial Dragon. Peak moment in One Piece. Peak moment.
Period.
Manga paneling, the replays. Again, this is one of the moments that really put Luffy as one of my favorite main characters of all time. Because he's if I don't like you, it's on sight.
Period.
And like that's one of the things that I love about him.
It wasn't even the punch. Like he dumb as hell, but he knew what he was doing. He was challenging the motherfucking status quo.
Yeah, like that's the thing because he knew.
Fuck your title, all that.
That's the thing. It's not like he didn't think about the consequences. As he was walking there getting ready to sock that man,
he was weighing that shit.
He was thinking in his mind. He was getting more and more pissed. He was thinking, he's like, man, if I hit him, the Navy's gonna be pissed. A lot of people are going to be pissed. Celestial Dragons are going to be pissed. But you know what? I'm fucking pissed. And you just socked the shit out of that man anyway. So that was a peak moment. So I actually you got to meet all the worst generation. Mm-hmm. Bonnie and Beji and Hawkins, Kid, Law.
You got to learn what hockey was properly.
At least you got to start seeing pieces like Rayleigh breaking off the collars.
And everybody getting put to sleep in the auction house.
Yep, him knocking everybody out. Rayleigh started showing off what hockey can do in this arc. And we got to see Law, Kid, and Luffy team up at one point, so that was pretty cool.
That was beautiful.
Then they fought Kuma and Admiral Kizaru. Rayleigh was fighting an admiral still, despite being old as hell.
Old as hell, and this is why you can never count old people on anime. They always be units.
But this was a great moment too. This is one of my favorite moments. As Kuma was wiping them away, the anguish that Luffy was going through, especially he tried to get to Robin, and right before he got there, like him just crumbling down and realizing, like, fuck, I'm not strong enough. This was strike one. I'm not strong enough to save the people that I care about. And poof, there he goes.
And the fact that Kuma told him, I will never see you again. He didn't tell him you would never see me again. He said, I will never see you again. That was the best foreshadowing I had ever seen.
That was great.
Because
he was already mid-process of transferring his consciousness and all that.
And he fucking protected Sunny after that and everything. It was fantastic.
But poofing him away, that leads right into Amazon and Lily. Him meeting Princess Boa Hancock. I would turn to stone instantly, not even in a cap.
I'm not gonna lie, she low key irritated me at first because
no, I loved it. Very first scene, she walked on screen and said, "Who put this cat in my way?" Bink!
Yeah,
I was
right?
like,
that's
"Bae!"
shit I ever see ever, bro. That's animal cruelty. But
What do you mean? That is bae.
I didn't like that they wrote her to be the most beautiful bitch ever just to be the most beautiful bitch. What really caught my heart though is when this bitch laughed at Smoker all the way down her neck like ha!
Yeah, that didn't happen till the war arc though.
Alright, hey.
That didn't happen
That's
till a
what
little
she
later.
did, babe. But that shit was fantastic.
You know, meeting Hancock, all that stuff. Him finally realizing Ace wasn't impelled down.
Oh my god.
Big moment. Which leads right into the next one, which is impelled down. Hancock helps him get in.
I can't believe that she fell in love
She
with
fell
him.
in love with him instantly.
Straight up.
Yeah, I guess we can go back a little bit.
You.
Yeah, fell in love with him instantly. She fell through his roof. He fell through her roof. She was like, "You saw my back. You have to die." And then he literally swayed the hearts of the entire kingdom over the course of one fight because he's fucking Luffy, and this is what he does. Him and Naruto have the most.
Talk no jutsu.
The thing about Luffy is half the time his isn't even talk no jutsu. It's action no jutsu.
Yeah.
But it's like I choose not to fight you, and I'll just let you beat the shit out of me. Followed by I'm gonna drop a one-liner, and now everybody loves me. But regardless,
he likes that a little bit more than I do. I don't like to see niggas just take ass whoopings for.
I love when Luffy takes ass beatings because he knows he knows when he has to take an ass whooping. He knows when he needs it.
I've taken one to it in my life.
He knows when it's the right time to do it. Anyway, yeah, I loved it. I loved all the stuff with Hancock. Moving into Impel Down, she helped him get in there. Impel Down was hilarious. Him getting through Buggy, Mr. 2 and Mr. 3 getting sucked into it all. Bon Clay being MVP of this arc.
This nigga didn't know Mr. 2 was about to be his enemy, even though he damn near introduced himself as Mr. 2. They made friends and then like had to be enemies later with it, and then it was just weird for him the whole time.
Don't care. Bon Clay MVP. Anybody who says they hate him, fuck you.
Ah!
Bon Clay is great.
Who was it?
Bon Clay is fucking the ballerina who could change faces.
Nope.
Change faces. Change faces. Change faces.
He was alright.
Bro, he was MVP of the arc.
He was alright.
MVP of the whole arc. Man was.
When this nigga tried to change into Luffy, but got the bottom half of this nigga body wrong, bro, I was sick.
But I thought that arc was pretty good with the the poison fucking warden that couldn't get off the shitter because that man was a menace too.
There's always somebody who can't get off the shitter.
Getting Jinbei and Crocodile out of there. Meeting Jinbei. Jinbei's a goat.
Jinbei's fucking.
Crocodile was also a great member of this arc. They had great moments. The escape again. Bon Clay played a huge part in that, pretending to be the warden, opening the gate and all that kind of stuff.
Was nice.
Staying behind. Leading right into Marineford,
which was just fantastic.
From start to finish,
that shit was amazing.
From Whitebeard popping up in the middle of the bay, talking about what? How did he get here? I don't understand. What? Popping up in the middle of the bay, like
And I love it that when this nigga took his fucking staff and planted that bitch in the shit. They didn't move this nigga for 6 episodes after that. They immediately got to attacking, trying to beat everybody ass. This nigga was standing there for 6 full episodes. Like, y'all ain't got shit on me. I'm the motherfucking man.
One of the best things, one of my favorite things about this arc is all of the thoughts that Ace is going through. Ace and Garp are going throughout this whole fight.
Conversation about it. That shit fucked me.
The sense that fucked me up is always, when he asks, "Do I deserve to live? Did I deserve to live? Do I?"
Man,
and Garp is always, you have to decide that. You determine that. But all Ace wanted was confirmation that he deserved to be loved, that he deserved to be here, and the fact that he finally, almost got that. Between Luffy dropping from the sky,
and then Whitebeard's whole fucking brigade.
He's staring admirals down, even though he knows he can't take them on. Whitebeard giving up his life for him. Like Or's giving up, baby Or's giving up his life.
Yeah.
Literally, people on people just dying and dying.
Or's
and
was so
dying.
fucking close. He dang reached out. It was this close.
All this for Ace.
Oh my god.
They finally get him out of the cuffs and fucking.
They got to pissing this nigga off.
Then this is the one gripe that I have. Why the fuck did Ace turn around? Because all of this was for you. You should have just left. But also standing on principle.
Suspicion he was not gonna make it out of there.
I mean, the sad part was I was already spoiled. I knew that he died.
I wasn't.
So
I was
had
spoiled. Anime instinct.
But regardless of the fact that I was spoiled, that shit still hurt. Like Ace dying and Luffy's arm being another moment to him of you're not strong enough to protect the people that you love. And this one hit him super hard. I love the way that grief hit him to the point so hard. Knocked him out unconscious. Yeah. Jinbei had to carry him off the battlefield.
That shit crazy. And he woke up days later still tripping about
the way the Whitebeard pirates stepped in to save, Luffy. And then Shanks popping up. Kobe stepping in front of Aki Inu was a great moment. And then Shanks showing up, stopping the fight. And basically staring everybody down and scaring them shitless. He showed up and was like, if anybody wants to fight,
y'all gotta fight.
We're your opponents now. And Blackbeard, who just took Whitebeard's fruit, even was like,
on the planet
now man's got two of the most OP fruits in existence. And even he was like, I don't want to fight you just yet.
I'm gonna get out of here. I'm not ready for it.
Yeah, Sengoku back down, Aki Inu back down. They were done.
Take the bodies.
Shanks ended the war literally just by showing up. He even got Sengoku to let them bury their dead, all that kind of stuff. So Shanks came and goaded at the end of that.
And as sad as that was, Ace's death, I cannot put that on my anime sad list because I felt personally like Luffy was on too much bullshit pre-time skip. He needed a sad death in his life. So when I saw that nigga get the hole punched through him, I was like, damn, yeah, that's sad. That sucks for you, but it's about to make my viewing experience better because I know your punk ass about to train after this. Like, everybody.
Still, it was sad as shit. They straight into post-war, Luffy waking up, realizing, Ace is really dead. Jinbei convincing him, you still have people to fight for. That shit was a touching moment.
That shit was touching as hell.
And then
Jinbei is the fucking goat.
Jinbei's a goat.
That's
love Jinbei. And then them going back to Marineford with the 2 years instead of 3 days. This upped his bounty from 1 million to 3 million or some shit. Yeah, 100 million to 300 million or some shit. But
that's crazy. That's his bounty been going up and up.
It keeps going up, yeah.
Keeps going up. It's just crazy.
Man's a menace. But going one final note, fucking Whitebeard took fucking 500 plus attacks during the Battle of Marineford and didn't take a single one to his back.
Wait, so he got shot like 200 times.
Stabbed,
like
cannonballs.
He took like 46.
Not to mention he fought the admirals on several occasions.
Multiple admirals. He never took one wound to his back.
The only one that you could even see from his back was the one that Aki Inu put a hole in him. That was the only one you could even see from the back of him, and that's because it's the straight hole through his body.
Yeah, that still happened from the front.
Yeah, that still happened from the front. It just happened to go straight through him.
Yeah. To that being said, no retreat. There was no give up. No nothing.
There's a reason Whitebeard's bounty was fucking 5 billion. Cool. That man was a goddamn unit. And anybody who downplays him is fucking tripping.
The trimmer fruit was
busted,
bro.
That's 5. Overall, I give that the Summer War. We gave the Summer War arc a 9.5 out of 10. There were just a couple things holding it back. It was an overall fantastic arc. It was absolutely great. So that's 516 episodes of One Piece.
Yeah, like I said, the biggest gripe, and it's still going on to this day. I'm at episode 900 and he in episode 1000. Pacing. Oh my god, the pacing of this
Overall, pre-time skip, I'd probably only give it like a 7 out of 10.
Total honorable.
To be honest, overall.
Maybe
6.5. I was gonna say maybe even a 6.5.
6.5 we'll give it. Because
really high moments again. Ennie's lobby, I Want to Live was
Ramen,
just fabulous.
That shit was fantastic.
The
Nami with the hat.
Nami with the hat. We didn't talk about this, but Zoro and the Ashura 9 Blades.
Oh my god, yeah, no,
love
fantastic.
It.
Zoro is unit.
And then literally the whole Summit War arc again. I think that whole arc.
That shit was prime time television.
That was some peak One Piece.
That shit was peak.
But again, I'm almost caught up to the manga. I'm almost caught up to the anime now, and then I'll read the manga. But once we both finish Wano, which is gonna be the cutoff before they actually finish the final arc. Once we both finish Wano, we can do a post time skip video, and then we'll do something later for the final arc. Once probably years down the road when they're actually done. Because this is supposed to be just as long as Wano or longer, which was already two plus years.
And we watched. Yeah, it was all nice, funny games when we was watching 1,000 episodes whenever the hell we wanted to. But now we might have to wait week to week like.
Now we're about to be weekly, just like everybody else, and we're about to be manga. Yeah, I'm one of those people who like to be manga caught up, so I don't get all the spoilers. Yep. So I'm only
my shit off.
I'm only like 20 episodes away from being anime caught up.
Bastard.
So.
But no, that's
our review and our rankings for the first half of the 1,000 episode chess chapter of apparently filler. Because I wouldn't say filler, but this is all build up.
Manga canon filler. It was
canon filler, dude. I guess we'll go ahead and use this time to talk about again the big issue we have with One Piece. The pacing is just so bad. Like,
so bad.
There's no, I would rather have filler so that I can watch, let's say, 700 episodes of your world building and build up and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And get straight storyline and be able to skip the other 300. As opposed to being required to watch 1,000 episodes just to understand what's going on.
And the flashbacks. Whenever someone think about something, you do not have to show me a half episode of shit I saw 200 episodes.
So stop showing us the same flashbacks over and over and over again. I have seen the I Want to Live flashback so many times I can't even count. Same thing with fucking Shanks saving Luffy the first time. And the same thing we saw in episode 2 of Shanks losing an arm. I don't need to see it 3 more times in Dressrosa. We don't need to keep seeing that arc. So flashbacks are great and all. Just there's a point where it's too many.
No bit.
I think this video is already long enough, so I think we're gonna go ahead and call it there.
Yeah.
And we got a little interruption, so.
Everybody meet my new puppy. His name is Zero, or as we pronounce it in the anime community, Zero. Because he's a little fucking menace. Look at him. He is so fucking cute. But, thank you for joining us again. And,
keep an eye out. Let us know what you want to see for new content. Keep an eye out, too, because we have a couple more videos on the way.
Definitely.
So we will see you guys soon.